Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the weekly market update show. And this is where I give you guys a recap of where happened roughly this week, as well as the support and resistance guide for QQQ and SPY, and what I'm looking going forward to next week, and the perspectives of bull side and the bear side of what you guys should be looking for, and the psychology behind these patterns. All right, let's get into it. So right now we are looking at QQQ on the daily time frame, and we are still looking at this rising wedge. This is resistance, and this is support. So pretty much we are still getting those higher highs in the chart and with not a lot of follow through. So you guys can see we hit a new high here, not a lot of follow through, hit a new high here, not a lot of follow through, hit a new high here, not a lot of follow through. So essentially that's what a rising wedge psychology is behind the pattern. We're getting really close to the end of the pattern. So that will likely take us into the third week of May, but I'm thinking it will very likely break next week due to how tight it's already. You can see just from here to here is only 0.5%. So let's say we open up here next week, right at here. So that'll be this candle, and it'll only take us about 1% to break below that, or a 0.8% moved on the upside to break above it. Right, so there's not much left to either side. So we will likely get a break of this very, very soon. And funny thing, it's the top of the resistance literally coincides with the megaphone that we have been looking at for the month and a half. And so I was talking to you guys about this megaphone looking pattern, resistance and support, that it's acting for a visual guide for us. And it pretty much hit exactly at that resistance for the last couple of days. And it pretty much hit that as well as the rising wedge. So we'll have to see if which side this rising wedge breaks. I don't really see us just straight shot down and to test the bottom with this megaphone, which is very, very unlikely unless something breaks in the market, like some commercial real estate goes bankrupt, like some big ones. And other than that, or some crazy recession bank happens, or bank going down, or something that's sort of that. But as of now, we don't have any black swans events, so I don't think we're just gonna go back down here. Who knows, right? So, but this would just be a visual guide for me. I don't really play off of these levels, especially the diagonal ones. The horizontal ones are the stronger levels you can play off of, actually. Yeah, so that's for me for QQQ, but QQQ is still in full bull control. If you look on the daily chart, there is 0 red flags at the moment. Still a very clear daily uptrend, and until we break this Tuesday's May 9th pivot low, which is 321.32, this pivot low right here, there is 0 red flags for the bulls at the moment. All we did was we just have a day that was consolidation, and it could just as well easily go back up, just like this. It was daily consolidation. We did not broke the prior pivot low, and we moved back up. Another pivot low, which is higher than this low. Now we have another move back up. So the question now for me going into next week is, can the bulls hold this prior pivot low high? So if we get another day pullback on Monday, and then we got to this black looking line 322, and it kind of will look like that. So no red flags for the bulls. You can just bounce off of it. You can say we bounce off of this support of the rising wedge, as well as support of this black looking line, as well as we are holding above prior pivot lows and continue the uptrend. 0 red flags for the bulls. So if we do get here and then break there, then that's a win for the bears. So that would take us from a daily uptrend into a neutral trend, not a downtrend, because for a downtrend to happen, we need to form a a lower high, lower than the prior high, and then break the prior low. That would be a downtrend confirmed, just like how uptrend was confirmed by breaking the prior high and having a higher low. So every one of these lows are higher than the previous low. An uptrend is formed. So just like a downtrend needs that as well. So as of now, 0 red flags for the bulls, and bulls are very comfortable. We are literally trading at what is it? 8 months high for QQQ. But and then you have the arguments from the bears saying the only thing that's holding up the market is the big five tech stocks: Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Google, and Nvidia. Right. So once those roll over, who else is going to be holding up the market, right? So that's argument from the bear side, from my point of view. Um, so today we're trading pretty bearish during the morning until this last 2 hours of rally that kind of helped the market daily candle look a lot better. So right when the morning opened, we had a consumer sentiment data came in at 7. Sorry, it was 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right when that data came in, we just had a big drop, and that was um, happening for the rest of the day. You could say it was the data that made the market drop, or you can just say it's a technical drop where QQQ is just doing its daily consolidation, healthy daily consolidation, right? Both of those could work, if you ask me, but I usually just look at the price action because what the price shows us is the news plus the emotions of the people that's reacting to the news made them click the buttons, sell and the buy buttons, and that those two things forms what the charts that we're seeing. So price action is always king. It's the most important thing out of all of them, and seeing a little bit of a weakness after hours, probably because we hit a 5-minute overbought around this area, and then it might just be a little bit of a technical pullback hours after such a um, big move. So there's more of an hourly consolidation. So we'll see how it goes on Monday. And then we head over to SPY, which is a lot more bearish on the chart due to, you can see it just a chop box. If you show me this chart, I'll probably be like, okay, this might be a penny stock that's just chopping around for such a long time. And you can say we're still struggling with this structure as well. This structure and pretty much this structure. So SPY is a lot weaker due to SPY holdings holds the energy sector, financial sector, and every other sector, right? And so those energy and financial has been really weak. The only thing that is holding on SPY is pretty much QQQ, the tech sector. Obviously, there's tech sector inside the SPY as well, so that's helping SPY hold up. So the argument from the bears that I was talking about earlier, where so when QQQ decides to, let's say roll over, have a weekly consolidation on the weekly chart, then what's going to happen to SPY, right? Yeah, so something like this, a weekly consolidation, where just like we need a pullback on the daily chart to form a daily uptrend for a weekly continuation of a weekly uptrend, we need to do something like this, where this is also a weekly consolidation because you see this low um, broke below this low, so that's a consolidation happening, and we're starting to slow down a little bit. So if we do get a little bit of a consolidation happening, then you can say this chart starting to weaken. Because what the bulls want to see is after a consolidation, like a big move up, a nice consolidation, you want to see more room up, like a big move up for more consolidation, room for a pullback. So if we only had like this teeny candle up, and we start to daily consolidate again, weekly consolidate, then there's not a lot of room for the bulls to even pull back to make room for um, the next move up. So you see how much room we have to pull back, and there's still room. We're still above all of this move for another next move up, right? But right now we are just a tiny bit above the prior consolidation. So if we do pull back back into it, then that's a little bit of a red flag for the bulls. And so when we do start pulling back on QQQ, how is SPY going to hold up, right? SPY has just been chopping sideways while financial sector is going down, energy sector is going down. So once QQQ rolls over, then it's going to become a weight on SPY as well. And so we got to ask, does the energy sector and the financial sector start to go back up when money leaves tech? And does it rotate back into the financial sector or the energy sector? If not, then SPY will have nobody else helping it to hold up, and it'll likely hit rollover and back down to below this chop zone, where you can see this is the zone right here, 4.2 to all the way 15. It's just been chopping inside it forever. So if we do break that, then the low will likely be testing the low of this zone. If we break it, then it's not looking good for the overall market. There's also a little bit of a rising wedge guy here as well, so we'll see. That would take us into, if we do break out of this, it would just be next week. Yeah, Thursday 18th, or it could just one day, 0.8%, and we're below it. We can likely break below it and then bounce back into the end of the day and just form a lower wick. Then it's a bounce, just like this one right here. See, we broke below it and then bounce back into it. So we need a candle to close outside of it for it to be more of a confirmed break. Yeah, so there's a lot going on in the market, and you can see that price action has been very, very weak this week. It just feels like nobody's really doing much in this week, just from the way it looks. That's why we have that saying, sell in May and go away. And this actually feels like what it's like, gap up in CPI, chop sideways, nothing happened at the end of the day. Gap down, chop sideways, still in this range. And just next day, gap up, chop sideways, still in this range, right? It's just not much going on, low volume and indecision in the market, no clear direction in the market. Although today was quite a nice, very trending day in the morning. You can just follow the, there's a lot of trades you can get into this morning. See this teal looking line? It's a 12 EMA. And on the 15-minute chart, it was a perfect rejection right here. And another one right here. And once we broke above it, you can see then there's a bull move. So it was a clear guide for a bear trending morning. You could just short and then keep your position until the 15-minute EMA 12 broke above, and then you can take your profit. This is for intraday traders, but it doesn't happen every day. Sometimes it's a very clear guide with it. Sometimes you don't use it at all. Yeah, so what am I looking into next week? I am looking for the big tech stocks to actually weaken. I was talking about it last week. I broke down all the big tech stocks: Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, all that guys. And I was saying that most of them are in the sell zone, and they will likely pull back. If they wanted to move higher, they still need to consolidate, just like QQQ is doing its daily consolidation right now, like this. Consolidate as well. And the biggest thing I'm looking at is how will they consolidate, right? So if we consolidate down to here next week, Monday, and that was it. That was the end of the consolidation for all the big tech stocks as well as QQQ, and then we bounce back. Then there is absolutely no red flags on those names as well as QQQ itself. And if we do get a move back up to here, I'm looking at 330 level for the Qs, and I'm open for both directions because I have a feeling that the market is still very bearish. There's a lot of hedges going on. There's a lot of puts in the market, and market makers don't want to pay them. So they can potentially drive another leg up before they want to drive it down. I'm also open to that as well. I'm also open to just us going back down for a weekly consolidation straight away next week. I have to prepare for both. And the range, the size of this next pullback of this consolidation will be the most key thing for me next week. So keep on watch for that. See if QQQ does break below this pivot, prior pivot, going from an uptrend to a neutral trend. If that happens, nothing is holding SPY left. Just like I said earlier, if financial sector doesn't and energy sector doesn't pull its weight, then if the text rolls over, nothing is going to be holding SPY up anymore. And that's all I got for you guys this week. I'll be updating the natural gas weekly video tomorrow, And on Sunday, I'll be updating you guys on the big tech stocks, all 5 of them, on Sunday, and what I'll be looking forward into those big tech stocks. That'll be Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, and which one did I miss? Apple. But yeah, I'll be doing all 5 of those. The support and resistance guide on them, and on Sunday. And yeah, hope you guys have a great weekend. The weather is incredible at my city at the moment, so hopefully you guys are as well. And if you made it this far, if you hit subscribe, and I will see you guys tomorrow and over the weekends. And have a great weekend.